Okay, welcome, guys. Today,
Hello,
we
welcome to today's
we
video.
need to talk about some very important coaster-ish amusement park-related news that we recently heard. Right now, it's Friday night, so this
Yes,
won't be published like Saturday at 9 a.m. unless I want to
yeah,
work
by
on
the time
something.
this releases, this
When
is
Derek and I have our
probably going to be old
conversations,
news.
when we have our conversations, it lasts for hours without a doubt, which is great. So I'm not
Yes,
going to edit tonight, but I'm going to get it up as soon as possible while the news is still in, because this is something we need to
yes,
talk about. Uh,
this
uh,
is something very, very big.
yeah, and I'm not going to add like too many memes into the ending of the video, just so it's published as quickly as possible. And
Yes,
only do like necessary edits. So, what happened was, Cedar Fair is no more.
or is it?
Actually, it kind of. See, the thing is, Six Flags and Cedar Fair. I have this background that you might notice on Discord. That's quite cool.
They
They
kind
they
of yeah.
merged.
I have one too. Yeah, they kind of did like that.
A merge, which is a topic that I've learned about in accounting class and some
Yes,
other things of mine. Just so clear, I have a degree in accounting from University of Spoin, cum laude. So it sounds
yes.
suggestive. It actually means you have very good academic work. That I didn't make up the name.
Isn't
It's just
it cum
cum.
laude?
You're kind of right. I am stupid idiot.
And no, it's not cum loud. Or is it?
Can we try to not say something suggestive for 30 seconds?
Oh, that is just impossible.
Let's find out. I'll put a timer on screen, starting now.
Put a timer up here.
So I have a degree in accounting, so I know how businesses work, kind of. Like, I wouldn't call myself an
Yes.
expert. I still haven't got a job yet, but I will eventually. So I know a thing or two about how businesses work. So you might be wondering, what do I think of this situation? Is it something to be excited about, worried about, or is it a giant nothing burger? Let's analyze the facts first. Just the facts first, and then we will tell you what we think about it. But feel free to form your own
Yes.
opinion and predictions. Like, it's going to take a year or even years to figure out what exactly is going to happen, but let's just think about it. Cedar Fair and Six Flags have merged, the two biggest theme park chains in the country. I like having Google Maps.
Yes.
It's kind of like my thinking pad. I like
Actually,
thinking
in North
geographically.
America, because they have parks in Canada and Mexico.
One in Mexico. That's right. The new company is now worth $8 billion. Wow. They decided to keep the name of Six Flags. But
Just because of brand recognition.
that's true. Like,
But
you
what's
gotta admit,
interesting
the
about
guy
that?
driving the bus to the house.
Yes.
The guy comes to the house and picks up some children.
Oh, dang it! We said something suggestive.
No,
We failed already.
no. I think that was just 30 seconds. So I think we're fine.
I mean, you did say a guy comes to a house and picks up children.
And the entire people in the advertising office were like, yeah, that's what we have to do.
Yeah, that is what we need to get people into our parks.
So yeah, I knew Six Flags existed since I was like 9 years old. I didn't know Cedar Fair was a thing until I was a coaster enthusiast, so I think they picked the right name. But to compensate, basically, Cedar Fair in every other way. They have the Cedar Fair CEO. 51% of the stockholders are Cedar Fair, and
the CFO of Cedar
ticket
Fair is also the CFO of the new Six Flags.
and the stock code for Cedar Fair, FUN, is now the stock code for Six Flags.
New Six Flags.
The new Six
and then
Flags.
Salim Basu was just a chairman of the board, and
So that means technically, in the stupidest way possible, Salim Basul has resigned.
Well, shit.
But again, he's the president.
No, 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 no.
So,
Well,
I
no,
don't
I
know what we're
thought
gonna do.
Richard Zimmerman was president and CEO, and
Executive
Salim
chairman. That's
Basul.
what I mean. I don't know exactly
Yes,
what these roles are. I study accounting,
yeah,
not business administration. So, uh,
right.
so
We don't really. I mean, the 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 the
the the
the
the
the
the
the,
the
the,
the the
the,
the
the,
the oh
Let's try this
oh.
again.
Also, their
The board of
headquarters is in
chairmen
Charlotte, North
is at
Carolina.
the board of chairman is a very high ranking like position. If you're a
Very high.
chairman on the board of directors, that's a very high position. But I don't think it's the highest. But I think Salim Basul is kind of like,
He's
I
at
guess, the
least
executive
third
of
ranking.
that.
At
Yeah,
least
at
third
least
ranking.
third.
Uh,
Probably like second.
right. Let me
So
see
we'll
how much
see
time I have
how
left
that
on Bandicam.
pans out.
6:26. Okay, maybe I'll leave this right here. So I know that doesn't take up too much of the map.
I recommend getting OBS, Open Broadcasting Software. It's free and it doesn't have a time limit.
Free.
And it also doesn't have a watermark.
Oh,
So
nice.
I use it.
Bandicam's watermark is small, but I'd rather have none. So great.
Something to think about.
Yeah. So now that the two companies are merged, they can use each other's assets, and some of their assets, these being non-tangible, are licensing agreements. You might know that Cedar Fair has licensing to the Peanuts characters, and Six Flags is very
Yes.
famous for Looney Tunes and DC. So now that that's the case, and it's all one company, some of the licensing for one park chain can go to the other. Which, all right, that's something to consider. Like, for example, at Six Flags America, you could see a a Peanuts themed ride in the kids area. I mean, that's
Yeah.
kind of like a Looney Tunes boomtown area, but I mean, it's possible. And you could see DC or Looney Tunes theming at where is it, King's Dominion, which,
Right.
all right, that's something I could get used to. But one concern of mine was that they would take already existing rides, and it's a concern of other memers as well, that they would take already existing rides and rename it to Goliath or Batman the Ride or Flash Virgo Velocity.
Or
I-
or
Is this
Superman the Ride.
going to happen?
I
I
don't think so.
don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, I'm going to be paying
I
attention to it if it does. If they rename Banshee to Batman the Ride, I'm going to get in my car, I'm going to fly through the Bay Bridge, through West Virginia, to Cincinnati, and I'm going to get into the park of Kings Island, and I'm going to be protesting with signs if they rename Banshee to Batman the Ride. But James, you're DC's Batman the Ride, James! It's a sarcastic joke about how crazy Six Flags is about the branding, alright?
yes.
And feel free to make your own comments. I
So
don't want to
I
dominate the
think
conversation.
I think it's I think it's safe to say that Millennium Force will not be renamed to Superman Ride of Steel. Or will it be?
Or will it be? No, because remember, most of the stockholders, 51%, are Cedar Fair, which basically gives you 100% of the control. Like, the merged company,
Yeah.
it's Six Flags only in name, really, but most of
Yeah.
the influence will be Cedar Fair. So, uh, if
Yeah,
uh,
and it makes
if Cedar
sense
Point, for
because
example, gets a Bugs Bunny Boomtown, like, I could get used to that. Sure, that's fine. I don't go to
yeah,
kids' area very
sure.
often, so I don't care. If they made an entirely new ride with
Very
DC theming,
often.
I'm not sure how I'd think of that. I mean, there was a whole generation of people like, imagine if you grew up with Riverside Park, and then suddenly you got all these superhero named rides. I mean, maybe I could get used to that.
Yeah.
But they better not rename currently existing rides to unusual licensing to the park. And on one
Yeah.
of my group chats, I found a list of information about it. Where is it? Oh no, I can't find it. I didn't save it to my pictures. Darn it! But
Well,
it said
shit.
things like the parks are going to operate as is like there won't be any major
Yes.
renamings. In Costa Studios video, they suggested that Cedar Point might have an extension to its name, like Cedar Point, a Six Flags park.
That is going to
I'm
be
not
very
sure how
weird.
feel about that. I mean, you don't have to say the whole thing.
I
That's just
mean,
his decision.
maybe
You can call it Cedar Point. You're not obligated to call it Cedar Fair Six Flags Park. You don't have to, but it could be the official title. I don't know.
something. Another video I watched on this was from Hollywood Studios, and he suggested maybe reverting the names of current Six Flags parks back to their original names. So, like, Six Flags Great Adventure would just be Great Adventure, Magic Mountain would just be Magic Mountain, and so on.
That's an interesting decision.
And
Remember,
then the
it's
original
basically
Six
Cedar
Flags
Fair with
parks
the
can
name
keep
of
their
Six
Six
Flags.
Flags names. So
Right.
over
Six
Texas,
Flags over
over
Texas
and then
could
St.
stay
Louis,
same.
and then over Georgia. Although it
Right.
was originally called Six Flags over Midwest, right? Over the
Over Mid
Midwest,
America,
something like
but
that. Mid America. Okay, yeah.
right. That's an interesting decision, and while the name recognition is something that Six Flags does quite well in, the Sierra Fair, taking ownership of the parks could add another element to it that could be very useful to the park's atmosphere. Like, if you don't know what these park chains are, I mean, if it has Six Flags name, it was owned by Six Flags, but the other
Yes.
that don't have the Six Flags name directly attached to it are Frontier City, La Ronde, and Great Escape. Although Great Escape is called Six Flags Park, and if you don't know what Cedar Fair
Yes.
is, here's a list of the parks they own right here. If you go to any of those parks, you gave money to Cedar Fair. They provide that experience for you,
Yes.
and overall, I like Cedar Fair more than Six Flags. My average visit to a Cedar
I do
Fair
as
park
well.
is better than my average visit to a Six Flags park. But Six
I will
Flags
agree
is
with that.
cheaper. It's known as a discount chain.
Yeah.
Until Salim Basul got to the position of CEO and decided all the parks should have a premium experience. What he meant by that was a premium price without
Premium.
premium experience. Premium price without anything else. Why spend
More like
$100
premium
to go to
horseshit.
Why spend $100 to go to Six Flags America when Disney is almost the same price? Just go there.
Or you could go to King's Dominion or Hershey Park.
Yeah, that's always an option. We go to Hershey Park almost every year, even though we've both completed the park. It kind of feels like a home
It's just
park now.
that good.
Even though, let me remind you, we live here. We live here. It's fuck far from everything. Yet we go here at least once a year, like if not twice, 1.5
That
times
is
a year.
socialist.
This is socialist! This merger is socialist! Even though it's the exact definition of capitalism, but don't worry about it.
We don't need to worry about it. Just keep your goddamn mouth shut.
Yeah. Of the parks that will remain in this merging, notice how I word that, I don't think with Cedar Fair parks they're going to be too much different. Six Flags might see some good changes since they have a bigger pool of money they can work from. Although since they have so many flagship parks, Cedar Point, Kings Island, Carowinds, Great Adventure, Great America, and Magic Mountain, or depending on your definition of flagship is Knott's
And
Berry
maybe
Farm.
the Texas parks.
Maybe the Texas parks. Those are quite good, I've heard. Like, there's so many big parks now that every enthusiast wants to go
Yeah.
to, and so many resources would be poured into them. We were wondering, what would the neglected parks look like? Like Michigan's Adventure for Cedar Fair, or Great Escape and America for Six Flags. What's going to happen to them? Are they going to be even more neglected, or are they going to see some
Yeah.
change? And here's another question
That's gonna be interesting to see.
Here's another question I had briefly, but then we kind of answered it like in a second. You might know that California's Great America is thinking about closing. Is the deal going to change at all during this merger? No. I think California's Great America is just as doomed, if not more doomed, because
I
this
think I think with this merger, its
Six Flags
lifespan
Discovery
just got
Kingdom.
shortened by about like 5 years.
So you better go. Get in a plane and go to California ASAP. Go to California's Great America
Okay.
while you can.
Okay, I'll see you later.
No, not this second. I meant in 2024. Not this second. Come back here. No, get back here.
Okay, I'm back. It was
Okay,
great.
good. So
It was Great America. Okay, I didn't actually go to California's Great America.
you are so punny. Okay, so
Or
these
did
two
I?
were owned by different companies, and so there's incentive to make this park better. So all the guests that live in San Francisco would go to California's Great America, and then Six Flags Discovery Kingdom would think, oh, the guests are going to, I almost said Six Flags Great America.
I mean,
California's
technically,
Great America, and Six Flags
Six
thinks,
Flags
oh,
California's Great America.
no, don't worry, we're not going to see that. We're not going to see Six Flags over Cedar Point. No, we're not going to see Six Flags Richmond. We're not going to see
Six Flags
Six
over
Flags
Lake
Dorney
Erie.
Park. Coming to Six Flags Fiesta Lake Erie, a giant Mr. Six. As someone posted a roller coaster jerk. If I can find it by the time I edit this video, I'll put it on the screen. A giant
Yes.
Mr. Six.
A giant Mr.
I would actually, unironically, love to see a statue of Mr. Six just in a park like that. You look so happy,
Yeah,
but
that
actually
would be
he's
quite
just
funny.
staring into your soul, thinking, "Wait, did you really just spend $100 here when you could have just gone to King's Dominion? You silly little person." Or how about this? It's actually it looks like a statue, but it's actually a robot. And then at random times, like when people go to see the statue, it starts dancing all of a sudden, and it scares some little children.
Imagine little kids just having nightmares of Mr. Six going.
Oh boy, that is definitely going into this year's Jamoti. For sure. So, this park gets more guests, for example. And then this park thinks, oh, all the guests are going here. We better do something to make the guests go here instead. And so they do. And then Great America thinks the same thing. And then that's the beauty of competition. You're always trying to make a better product.
And then
My fear is, since these two companies are owned by, these two parks are owned by the same company. Well, not yet. The details will be finalized
Not
in
yet,
Q1
but
of
soon.
2024.
Soon.
Although one commenter said that maybe the FTC would stop it because they're afraid of a monopoly. I don't like monopolies. They might stop it, maybe. If they do, then
Yeah.
that'd be great. If not, well, that's another thing to thank Woodrow Wilson for. I don't think I told you guys how much I hate Woodrow Wilson. Ugh, I hate him.
I do not like Woodrow Wilson.
I hate Woodrow Wilson.
I hate Woodrow Wilson. Woodrow Wilson is socialist.
You know, there's actually one commentator that said that unironically. I mean, when we call someone socialist, it's a joke. We're making fun of people who use that as a buzzword for everything. But someone actually called Woodrow Wilson socialist unironically. Guess who it was? Ben Shapiro. In his presidential ranking viz.
So
unironically.
let's say technically let's say hypothetically, let's just say that Woodrow Wilson was, in fact a socialist. So I think that he was socialist because that's how Ben Shapiro talked. Shut the fuck up!
What can I say? So, now that these two parks will be owned by the same company, like, if this park is better, all the people will go over here, which will just take revenue away from California's Great America, or vice versa. So they would just be cannibalizing each other's sales. So, since land is more expensive near San Jose than Vallejo, I guess, because there's more development here, why keep California's Great America alive any longer when
Yeah,
Six Flags Discovery Kingdom is over here? So this is probably a
yeah,
death sentence for California's Great America, and that's the one thing that I worry about. No matter how many videos about this I see, there's one fear of mine that just won't go away, and that is parks close together might close. Now, we were wondering
yes.
which one
It's
would go
like with
first.
it's
Magic.
like you have certain situations, like obviously California's Great America and Discovery Kingdom. But then you have other situations like Knott's and Magic Mountain, which
Not
those are two very profitable parks for both
where's
companies. So I don't think
where's
those
Buena
parks are
Park?
going anywhere.
Yeah, these
So
two
I think
have rich histories. They've been around for a long time,
and
and
and Disney and Universal are like right nearby, so those parks are not
so
going
they
anywhere.
have two assets right here in their portfolio. That's a word I always
Also,
like. Portfolio of assets.
also, I can't see your screen.
Shit! You
I
could see
just
the screen
realized you.
the whole time.
I
Shit!
didn't even realize you were
Why didn't you tell
sharing it.
me?
Said, "Where's Buena Park?" I didn't know.
I shit. So, if I
I
were a
shit.
California if I were a California resident, here's what I would do. If I live like over here, oh, I can visit Magic Mountain like on Saturdays when I'm done with work or school or whatever. I can go to Magic Mountain on Saturday with season pass. Cool. And like once a month, I might go down to Knott's Berry Farm and ride the rides there. Fun. These two parks have enough differences where I don't think the axe will get one of them chopped down. This one has very interesting coasters like X2 and Twisted Colossus. This one is more
Yes,
beautiful. Like, it's called Knott's Berry Farm, so it's kind of themed to the
it is
country.
a very nice park.
You are better at describing it than I am, since you're actually at both of these
Right,
parks.
right. Not Knott's is definitely more of a quality over quantity, whereas Magic Mountain it has the most coasters of any park. Of course, it's
20
quantity.
coasters. It
20, yeah.
Yeah, it's
And
definitely
then
quantity over
Knott's
quality.
is more quality.
Absolutely. Plus, in the middle, you have
Although
downtown Los Angeles.
both parks have good coasters. Like Magic Mountain has
Very good.
Twisted Colossus and X2. Those are world class. And Knott's has
Yeah.
that's world class as well.
Ghost Rider, yeah. Uh, in the middle here is Los Angeles. So, like where I live, 52 miles, you can drive it in an hour, no problem. But 52 miles in Los Angeles, that could easily take you 2.5 hours. Uh, like the distance will
Yeah.
feel like a lot longer. So, uh, no one from here is ever going to want to go here unless they really, really wanted to or had to. So, in terms of what it feels like, the distance is good enough, so it's worth having two parks. Plus, Los Angeles is famous for entertainment, so you go there for entertainment.
Yeah.
So I think those two parks are absolutely safe. But there are a couple other things I've been wondering. Six Flags America and King's Dominion.
Six Flags America and King's Dominion. I think we know who's on the chopping block for this one.
Alright, but let's talk about it.
Adventure Park USA.
Alright, that's it. We figured out everything that's going to happen with the merger. Video over. Goodbye, guys.
Alright, bye guys. Alright, see you
That's
later.
it.
Get
That's all
out.
the answers. Okay, but for real, these two parks are 83 miles apart, so about 1.5, 2 hours depending on traffic. We have plans to return to both of these parks in 2024, as well as one park that we haven't gone to yet. So and that's going to be very exciting to happen.
I just realized something.
What?
So you know how we had a meme name for the past year 2023, which was
Wild
Wild Folk
Book 2020,
2023?
which I invented by accident.
We
Oh, do
we
you have
haven't
an idea?
even We haven't even thought of one for 2024 yet. Uh,
Huh.
I don't
What
know
could
what
be?
it,
Um.
um
Uh.
Wildfuck 2024. I mean that doesn't
No,
really
that
work.
that doesn't. It doesn't have the
No.
same ring to it.
Oh, oh,
Shit!
oh.
What? What? Do you have an idea?
Oh, is that your suggestion?
No, it wasn't originally, but now that you mention it, should we just call Toy for shit? like that.
Wait, I
Do you
have
have
I have
an
an
idea?
idea. So continuing the trend of the Fuchs being in the name of the year, we could just call it 2020 Fuck.
Tutty, tutty, fuck. You had no
2020.
idea in 2021 how much of your fuck would be a meme. Tutty tutty fuck. Tutty. Get ready, guys. Around the corner is tutty tutty fuck.
In less than 2 months, it will be 2020 Fuck.
Which means 2020 was 4 years ago. I'm still processing 2019.
Holy penis.
We have plans to go to both of these parks in 2020. And I think since the chains announced their new additions for 2024 already, I think their contract of operations has been renewed again for 2024. So this is more like
Yes.
long-term worries. So if you want to go to one of these parks, better do soon. Like originally, these two could be competitors. Like Six Flags America is kind of like cheaper, but King's
Yeah.
Dominion, like it's beautiful. I loved every visit that I went
Yeah.
there. Even
And
though
that's
Six Flags America isn't really the best at competition, even though it could be because look at it, it's prime real estate right here. Near
Yeah, like
one of the most
right
important
next
cities in
to
the country.
Washington D.C., it could totally
It
benefit from
it's
major
kind of like
investment.
my de facto home park. These parks right here don't really count in terms of like parks
Like
owned
if
by
we're
big chains.
talking real amusement
This
parks, then
technically
Six Flags America is our kind of home park, but also it's 3 hours. So
it's like 2.5 hours away if you hurry. Although our de facto home park is Hershey Park. Let's be honest. Uh,
which is actually further.
huh. That says a lot about the quality of Hershey Park over Six Flags. Like they could be
It
competitors,
does,
but
yeah.
they never were. But let's say we lived in Springfield, Virginia, and we were deciding which park to go to over the weekend. Well, Six Flags America is right there, and it's cheaper, but Kingsman has a quality experience. Okay, there's one argument to go to one over the other at least. But now that they're owned by the same chain, like you have two of these properties and they cannibalize each other's sales. An increase in one would just mean decrease in the other. Which one do you get rid of? Well, let's analyze these properties. King's Dominion has like more infrastructure. It's bigger. It most likely has uh higher tenants. It has tons and tons of land, but there's also Busch Gardens nearby that it has to
Yeah.
compete with. Six Flags America is in very valuable land near DC. Like more people are in the area, and they if you don't mind walking a bit, you could take the metro there. If you're willing to like take an Uber or whatever, but you almost don't need a car to go there if you're in the area. But it's not as big a park. It has a fewer roller coasters at Kings Dominion, and it would take a lot of
Yeah.
investment to make it as good as Kings Dominion. So, my guess is Six Flags America goes bye bye, and if you're lucky, the rides
Yeah,
from that
that's
will be
probably
disappear
safe.
across the chain. But that only has a half success rating. I mean, Firebird, I don't care. I don't care. I
But
don't
like
care what you do with it. Wild
but
One,
rides like Wild One that have been around for
Batwing
over a
is
hundred
gone.
years.
Batwing is gone. I like Batwing. I
Yeah.
don't want it to go, but I understand the maintenance nightmare. So if you have to relocate uh at that point in its life, like, is it even worth it? It'll go to next park and it's not gonna operate enough to be worth it. So I think if the park closes, that's
Yeah.
gone. I mean, that conflicts with my video on what if Six Flags America goes in 2022, but that's like, uh, the rules for that video is you try to relocate everything you possibly can, but but
Right.
still remain in ballpark of reality. But we're trying to think like, if we were the Six Flags mega corporation, what would we do? Six Flags America goes bye bye. Um, which, even though that's the weakest park in the
Yes.
chain, that would still make me very sad because it had potential. There are a couple of
It
good things
has
to do there.
potential. I I don't really
So
like Six Flags America, but I see the potential that it has. It has
yeah,
great
which
potential.
almost makes
But
me
the thing is,
want to do an updated "What if Six Flags America closed" in the present year video, but I feel like that might encourage them to do the merger, so I kind of don't want to do it yet unless it's finalized.
yeah.
Uh, in case it's not clear by now, I don't think this merger is going to happen because there's going to be no competition. And even if one of these parks does remain, like, there might be one park owned by SeaWorld or Universal somewhere nearby, but
Yeah.
overall, there's not going to be much incentive to invest too much into the parks, so the quality of the parks might go down noticeably. Like, you're not, unless you're like Sea Boy, you're not going to see a roller coaster like ever again in a generation. Which,
Yeah.
not if you have a
It's
monopoly, if you own like every single of a certain product, why make it even better? Like, I can't.
yeah,
It's
that's the
because
biggest
people are going to
problem
buy
I
it
have with
anyway.
that's the biggest problem I have with this merger is the lack of competition, just the gigantic monopoly that this new company is going to have is just going to absolutely tank innovation in the roller coaster industry and the amusement industry as a whole. Like
This is
there's gonna
socialism,
be there's gonna be so many
almost
parks that
literally.
are close to, but since they're owned by the same people, there's going to be a park that's favored over the other, which could lead to closures. And I don't want that to happen.
That's the thing
Like,
I'm most worried about. Nothing I see or read online makes me less worried about. Like, Six Flags Magic
no,
Mountain, Knott's
yeah,
Berry Farm, I'm fine. Six Flags America gets the axe. And if you're lucky, some of the rides will be at other parks. But I'd
yeah.
rather have the
Here's
original park there. I
here's
rather.
another here's
Here's
another
another
interesting thing. Yeah,
pair.
Great Adventure
Great Adventure and
right
Dorney
there,
Park.
and Dorney Park. Yes.
Porny Dark. Which, remember when I bought, I don't have it here, but the book of answers that was on a Vsauce short, I asked, should we go to Dorney Park, this year? And it said, don't hesitate. I asked, should we go in 2024 instead? And it gave like an answer saying we should go in 2023 instead. I mean, if we went next year, we would have written Iron Menace, but it's also kind of cool seeing like
Yeah.
the places for the footers dug up. Like that. That's fine with me. I still had a
Yeah.
great time there. But now,
Yeah, it's a good
is
park.
Dorney Park going to close? Hmm. It's not as
Well,
crazy as you think anymore.
let's think about
Let,
it
let's
in
let's
terms
analyze it.
of other parks in the area. So obviously
Okay, both
not
of
too
them are
far
near
from
New York City and Philadelphia, so they're both in great areas. Uh, although Six Flags New Jersey is closer to the very important I-95, so it's in kind of a better
Wait,
location.
did you say Six Flags New Jersey?
Six Flags New Jersey, Six Flags New Jersey, Six Flags New Jersey, Six Flags New Jersey. I'll have to go back into the video and let
I
you know.
think you said Six Flags New Jersey.
Located Six Flags Great Adventure! This park is a big park. Derek and I have been there once each. I was supposed to go with him, but I got sick! Ugh!
Ugh, that is socialist.
And it's socialism! Like, it's a major park. You have
But
Nitro,
unfortunately, I missed out on El.
but at least you got the more minor credits out of the way. Like, it has Nitro, pretty good B&M Hybrid, Jersey
Yeah,
Devil, the world's
Jersey
tallest,
Devil.
fastest,
Yeah,
longest single rail coaster, I think.
except I lied.
Well, sort of.
Well, sort of.
Kinakal, the world's tallest coaster, in case It was Kilimanjaro, the world's
Yes.
tallest drop tower, and El Toro, arguably the best wooden coaster in the country. It's great. And
Yes.
next year,
The
sadly,
Flash. They're going to receive
Flash
the
vertical
Flash.
velocity over here. Oh, it's already on the map.
Oh wow, it's already
That's
on the map,
that's the
even though it's not
country's
even built
first
yet.
super boomerang by Vekoma. I'm looking forward to when that's going to happen. As
Yeah,
in
and the
terms of
first
when,
modern Vekoma thrill coaster as well.
that's right. I can't wait to see. When do I think I'm going to go to Great Adventure again? Like, I've been planning my second
I don't
visit since
know.
2020. I don't know. My
I
guess
don't
is
know.
2025. Like 2024,
Sure, yeah.
I have a small budget for that year. I'm not going to reveal all the plans for 2024, of course, but long story short, all of the plans for 2024 have been in place. Like, the year's fully booked. The budget is completely
Yeah.
out. Like, I just graduated college. But I still don't have an income yet. I need to focus on that and then do some adulting stuff. So it's going to be difficult raising money for this, unfortunately.
Yes.
So, but back to this. Like, Great Adventure has a lot of stuff. Dorney Park, like, I mean, I'm a coaster enthusiast.
Dorney
I
Park
would
is just
love to
kind of a
visit both of
small
these.
regional park.
I would love to visit both of these. Any enthusiast would say, "Oh, I would still go to both." Well, 99% of people go to parks aren't enthusiasts. Uh, the
Yes.
the term usually given to them is GP, or general public, which there's nothing wrong with being GP. Of course, they are great people. They just, what they think of roller coasters is what I think of water parks. Like, yeah, that water
Yeah,
parks,
kind of.
fun. I could spend a day about it. Do I care about the manufacturers of water rides though? Not really. Not really.
Yeah.
It's kind of, and for most people, amusement parks are a once a year thing. I I
Yeah.
I can't remember a time when that was the case for me. I can't remember. It's so
Hmm.
strange. But let's say I live in Philadelphia. Which park should I spend the day at? Dorney Park has a couple things. There's Steel Force. That's kind of cool.
Just kind of looking
But
at the
Great
map, I
Venture
think
has
Great
King
Adventure is
Ka.
closer.
Yeah, I think so.
So I
It
think most people would
it
go
might be
to.
more expensive, but like King Ka, El Toro, versus I mean, Possess, Steel Force, Talon are
Yeah,
quite
those are
fun.
pretty cool.
El Toro. El Toro. El Toro. El Toro. King Ka. El Toro. Jersey Devil. El Toro.
Nitro.
King Ka. El Nitro. El Toro. El Toro. Did I say
Jersey
El Toro
Devil.
yet? Jersey Devil. El Toro. Little Devil. El Toro. Did I say El Toro yet? If you haven't ridden El Toro yet,
The
get
new
on
Kids Devil Coaster.
The Wahoo Bonsai Thunder Twisted Typhoon Surge. The ride. El Toro. So, yeah, if I live
Oh, and by the way,
in
El
Philadelphia,
Toro.
and one final thing, El Toro. So, if I were in Philadelphia, I would go to Six Flags Great Adventure. I mean, yeah, the Allentown residents would probably go to Dorney Park because it's right there, but this is a major urban area where they want to advertise in.
Yeah, a lot of
And like,
people live there.
why keep Dorney Park open when, if you close it, the residents can go to Six Flags Great Adventure instead, which already has majority of infrastructure. So, is Dorney Park on the chopping block?
It could be.
That's just such a scary thought. I
Yeah.
liked Dorney Park. It doesn't have to be big. It was fun. I love our day there. I don't
And
want it to
plus,
close. It has such a rich history. What?
Dorney Park is closer to Hershey Park. So
That's right.
it,
I mean, Six Flags Great Adventure and Hershey Park have a rivalry going on since like the beginning of Great Adventure. So,
yeah, so
like every time Hershey got something, Great Adventure got something.
well,
Like
I think we
Hershey
can
Park got
all
Stormer, and
agree
then
the
this got King of
clear
Ka.
winner. I think we can all agree the clear winner of all the competition in this area is Sesame Place.
Oh yeah, like of course, your Oscar's
Absolutely.
Wacky Taxi Derek. How could we
Yes,
forget?
of course.
Yeah. Which one's a
The
real
greatest
best
coaster
park
ever
here?
built.
And
Oscar's Wacky Taxi.
because
It's
of these two
themed
parks,
to Oscar the Grouch, who hides in the trash, and the train is a taxi. What more could you ask for?
Oscar's Wacky Taxi. As the Coaster parody said, it sounds like something that was brought up in a board meeting as a joke, but it actually miraculously got approved. I wish I could have gone with you. Both times you went, I was busy. I was busy. I had shit to do. Ugh.
God damn it!
Motherfucker! I hate being busy. So I think Great Venture is still going to have some quality into it because nearby you have the Atlantic City parks, you have Hershey Park, Sesame Place, and Coney Island over here.
And even American Dream.
Oh, America Dream. Yeah, I keep forgetting that it's there. But yeah, they have TMNT Shellraiser, which is a very fun ride. And actually, when I went to University of New Haven, even though New England was closer, I went to Great Venture before Six Flags New England. Huh. Say something about the quality of Six Flags Great Venture. I went here with my roommate, but didn't make a video out of it. That was fun. So these are the three pairings I'm rather worried about. Dorney Park and Six Flags Great Adventure, Six Flags America, and Kings Dominion. These two are fine, but what are some other parks? Carowinds and Six Flags Over Georgia?
I think those are far enough away that they're fine by themselves.
Yeah. It's 226
200 miles. That's
unless
those are totally fine.
Unless you're on a big vacation, no one's going to go that far for a weekend.
And I think
no one's going
those
to
two and Dollywood form like a nice triangle.
They do,
and
actually.
so they're not like that close to
I mean,
each
if you're
other.
willing to go this far for a music park, you're also willing to go this far. There's Dollywood, Lightning Rod. That's a fun ride. What are some other pairings? Michigan's Adventure and Six Flags Great America, maybe.
Kind of, maybe, but that's a little bit of a stretch. I think that's a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah, the parks that I'm most worried about are Six Flags America and
maybe
Dorney Park.
No, I was about to say Canada's Wonderland and La Ronde, but those are far enough away.
Oh,
that
these are
they don't interrupt with each other.
massively far apart. Like, look at that. Look at that. That's a 6-hour drive.
Yeah, those are for sure safe.
is perfectly safe. And also, there's Six Flags Park here, Six Flags Park here, but they continue to exist. Like, 170 miles is enough to make a brand new amusement park. I mean, how much is there between here and here? 96 miles. So maybe 96 miles is enough to make. I mean, this is more like a day destination park, and this is more like a family park.
I think the main parks that are in trouble are California's Great America, obviously, Six Flags America, and
Dorney Park.
I think those three are the ones that they're going to be looking at.
California's Great America, as if it wasn't enough danger already.
And even like smaller Six Flags parks that aren't like in, like even smaller Six Flags parks, like Six Flags St. Louis is far enough.
That here's Worlds of Fun here, and there's Silver Dollar City.
Those are far enough away that they won't interact with each other.
These are far enough to warrant new Six Flags parks. So I'm not too worried about that. And these are far enough away to make two major Cedar Fair parks, so that's enough distance so it's safe. Like 4 hours or more, that's safe. But most people go on the weekend, so like within 2-3 hours drive, that's the range that people are willing to travel to amusement parks from. So these three are on the chopping block, and that makes me very worried. Nothing I read online makes me less worried about them.
Yeah, that's like really concerning.
The beauty of capitalism is that it encourages people to make a better product, but when
I'm hoping that like I'm hoping that like well, no, because if the parks were to be bought by other people, then that would just.
I mean, yeah, that could be an option. Six Flags could sell.
That could be an option, but
or Six Flags
why
America,
would they sell it?
Why would they sell it when what you're selling is just a ticket for someone to create competition with you, and they would just take money away from you, so you have to make a better park at a lower price.
Well, the reason for that is competition drives innovation.
Exactly.
And
That's the
innovation
beauty of
is what gets
capitalism.
people to your parks.
Yeah, that's what
And that's
happens
why
when
this merger is a dumbass idea. It's
e-
stupid.
exactly. Like one thing
And
that makes
even
me
the
worry even
if you
more.
look at the quarter 3 earnings, right? Cedar Fair, they're doing pretty well for themselves. Six Flags, no, they're
Not
not.
so much, if at all.
Yeah, not so much.
I mean,
Salim Basul's
the existing
promises of the
parks.
premium experience, they haven't really come to
I mean,
fruition that
the
well.
parks that aren't on the chopping block, uh, will probably see some interesting investments over the years. It's there's going to be more Cedar Fair stuff added than Six Flags, and so I think financially the park is going to be fine, but I really don't want to see these places go. One thing that makes me
No.
even more worried than one of these parks closing is okay. So Six Flags Discovery Kingdom is the only park in the entirety of Northern California, and so there's no competition. They see no
The only
reason to invest
major
in it
park.
anymore. And just so we're clear, it's an entertainment chain, but there are substitutes for entertainment other than amusement parks. Like there's downtown San Francisco. You can just spend a day over there if you want. If they don't invest in park as much because there's no incentive to, there's no other amusement park. If people aren't happy
Right.
with their experience, they might think, let's just go to Golden Gate Park instead. And so,
Yeah.
is this the
So
beginning of the downfall of most amusement parks in North America?
I sure hope not.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes a park in the middle of nowhere could be successful. Like Silverwood is like the only park with that many coasters in like a 500-mile plus circle. It could be, but uh,
Lagoon
I
as well.
Laguna Zone. That's like the only major park in Utah. I mean, it could, but with this new monopoly mindset, I'm not so sure. Like Lagoon, I don't know who owns Lagoon, but it's a smaller chain, so they want to get
Yeah.
many people to their park from the area as they can, because remember, it's not just other amusement parks are competing with. If there's another park like in Provo or something, yeah, that would be a major competitor. But threat of substitutes is something you have to consider when providing any product,
Yes.
service, or experience. Threat
Yes.
of substitutes. So,
And that's why I think competition in the
yeah,
amusement industry is good to
that's
have
right.
around. Obviously, the parks in like California will probably be fine because of,
The Los
well,
Angeles
at least
parks,
in Southern
perfectly
California.
fine.
Yeah,
Nord,
those are fine
like,
because of
Northern
Disney and
California is so different from
Universal
Southern
that are right
California.
there.
Yeah, but
But like in terms of like almost all of the other parks, like if they have a monopoly over those, then they're just going to be competing with themselves, and some parks are going to
yeah,
close
yeah. Why
probably.
invest in Dorney Park when the guests going there would have gone to Six Flags Great Adventure instead? And so, uh, your profit never really goes anywhere because when you make more money here, you make less money here. So, uh, two options: sell the park or exit. And why sell the park when you're just giving them the buyer a chance to give you competition? So you get the axe. Which actually kind of reminds me of a Halloween costume idea I had, which Halloween was 3 days ago. A little bit of a break from that. I had an idea for a
Yeah,
Halloween costume literally 3 days after Halloween. That means I have plenty of time to get ready for it. You know how we have an ongoing joke where
I
we
also
call.
had a I also had a costume idea, but it
I'll
was
let you go
before
first.
Halloween. I also had time to do it.
Oh. Well, I have a very funny idea. You know how we have an ongoing joke where we call Didney Didney? We don't want to use the actual name because we're going to get
Yes.
sued. Well, I thought I could just put on like a suit and then get uh a how would I change Mickey Mouse's name? Uh Minnie Moose. I'll get a Minnie Moose pin, put it on like the collar, and then I'll get like a drink coaster, and then like a hammer. And can you guess what I am? Like I'll have a big suit.
You could.
I'm being like a Disney lawyer. Like every time you say the word, they're going to come. They're going to no, not that kind of come. Like the Disney executives are going to go towards the house. They're going to slam the judge's hammer on the coaster, and they're going to sue you. I'm just going to be Disney executive trying to sue you.
And you'll have a Mick Rat pin.
A Mick Rat pin. No, that's a good way of altering it. A Mick actually is Mick Rat in the public domain? Hey Siri, is Mickey Mouse in the public domain yet?
Mickey Mouse specifically, having first
Oh,
appeared
in
1920,
2024.
will be in a public domain work in 2000.
Ooh.
Mick Rat enters the public domain 2024. But the word Disney is trademarked, so if you ever say the actual word,
Yes.
the lawyers are going to come to your house and they're going to sue you. Like, imagine if you coordinate with a bunch of your buddies, like at least 2 other people, and then every time someone says the word, like the actual word Disney, a pack of 3 people just walks towards you with the judge's hammer slamming on the table, and they're trying to sue you.
Yeah, you're just holding just like a gavel, and then the little thing
hey,
the gavel
judge's
sits on it just.
Next Halloween, I'm going to be a Disney executive,
But
going to your
here's-
house, going to sue you.
Here's my idea. So, what if, as like a kind of joke for this, so it's somewhat related to the merger, but also not. So
Yeah.
Okay, so try to
You're not Joe
for
Biden,
example,
Derek.
So for example, so with this mergers, kind of like Cedar Fair parks are becoming Six Flags parks because the company that owns them
Sort
is
of.
going to be called
Sort
Six
of.
Flags. Sort of. Not in like management wise,
But in
but
name,
like
yes.
maybe they'll have a name extension like Cedar Point, a Six Flags. That would sound really
I
weird.
think I know what direction you're heading with this. I think I know.
So my idea for next Halloween would be to dress up as Mr. Six
Mr.
and
Six!
go to, and maybe I could go to amusement parks and
Specifically
amusement
one
parks
that's
that
not
aren't
a Six Flags park.
like, so for example, I could dress up as Mr. Six and then go to Hershey Park Dark Nights
Yes!
and then be
Yeah!
like,
Going
be
to Hershey Park! Mr. Six!
it's like
Holy,
I'm going to go to Hershey Park as Mr. Six,
and
I'm
going to Hershey Park Dark Night,
and I'm going to read
just as
everything
Mr.
to
Six.
Looney Tunes and DC Comics.
Oh my god! You know what? That gives me kind of a shower thought. Remember my video where I made a amusement park themed to George Carlin, and at the beginning I say, "Well, this is not a Six Flags park," or so I've been told. No, it's not. But not for long. And then Mr. Six brings a bus full of people and forcibly takes over the park, rethemes everything
That's
to
kind
DC.
of happening in real life, but
I
also not
predicted
really.
the merging!
A year before it
14
happened.
months in advance, I predicted the merging! Holy penis! We said that at the same time on my end. I'm not sure about
It
yours.
was slightly out of sync for me.
Well, on my end, it was perfect. Holy penis! Whenever I use that clip, I have to give credit to you for a clip that I edited myself. It's kind of weird. Also, when editing your
That is
Knoble
very
videos, when I
strange.
say, once I said something like, I have a video like that too, go ahead and check that out. But I was saying I to represent you, which, that was kind of interesting.
Yes.
So, I predicted the merging a year ahead of time. That was a warning to you people. So,
I think we should probably try and wrap this up since this video is probably.
yeah, it's going to, even just assembling is going to take forever. So, let's wrap this up soon. Do you have any
Yes.
closing thoughts, Dirk?
Oh,
That's a good way to end it.
so
I think.
my closing thoughts. The merger is interesting. There may be some good things that come from it, but really we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens.
And if you
I
live
think
near
there's just a lot
California,
of uncertainty right now.
and if one of your home parks is California's Great America, Six Flags America, or Dorney Park, you better hold on to dear life. I, uh, I, I, I
You
hope,
better get the parks open, you fuck!
and also, Salim Basul technically has a rule over Cedar Point as chairman. Praise the Lord Jesus
Oh
Christ,
no.
hallelujah. Salim Basul has
Oh
power over Cedar
no.
Point.
Oh no.
I think we found the actual scariest thing about this merger. Salim Basul has power over Cedar Point. No!